Luplow had a launch angle twice today at Progressive Field. Game shortened, 5 innings total. Here's the box score now.
Loopy.
5-9-0 for the Indians, 0-2-1 for the Chicago White Sox, who took the first 2 games of the series, and then the Indians came back to win the last 2. Last night, big one by Hosey. You call him Hosey.
Hosey. Brian, keep that graphic up, please. I want all viewers, our worldwide viewers, take a picture of that box score. You might never see anything like this again. Cookie Carrasco, yes, but Loopy Luplow with the 2 bombs. And don't forget underneath, Roberto-Perez with, with 2 hits.
By the way,
when are you going to see that again?
You know, you also have favoritism even at all over the place. The Lindor hit a fly ball to right field. The right fielder fell over, fell down. They called it a double. But it was, I believe it was Perez who hit a bullet that jumped over the third baseman's glove. They called it an error, no RBI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, when was that?
Maybe the 4th.
Okay.
Maybe. 216-575-0403. All right, let's look at the standings now and see what that does as far as the Indians are concerned in Minnesota. Minnesota still hanging in. They're getting good hitting.
More than hanging in.
Yeah, more than hanging in. They're 23-12. The Indians, with their win, go 4 games over the 500 mark at 20-16, 3.5 games behind, pending Minnesota tonight. Detroit 6.5 games back at 2 games under the 500 mark. Chicago 4 under 500, 7.5 back, and Kansas City doing about what Kansas City is supposed to do, 11.5 back at this juncture.
I mean, I think the Twins are legit. And, okay, here's the
well, here's what happens this weekend. Indians have a 5-hour flight now after the rain out, or the rain-shortened game. Indians travel to Oakland for a 3-game series. The Twins will host the Tigers for 4, doubleheader on Saturday. The White Sox travel to Toronto. That's a short flight from here. And then the Royals will host Philadelphia. 3-game series, interleague play right there. So there you have it. Facebook question of the day. We have a pretty good Facebook question of the day. Not that we don't always have it, but as the first quarter of the season starting to wrap up, who do you now think is going to win the AL Central? D-Man, what do you think?
I still say the Indians, but it's pretty clear to me the Twins will be there right until the end.
Carmen Tolino says any hope of the Indians had of eking out enough 2-1 wins went down the drain when Clevenger and Kluber went down with long-term injuries. Pete Shane says the Tribe still owns the number 2 wild card spot, 4 games back in the Central, and plenty of baseball to play until the Twins eliminate us. I'm going with the Tribe. In Tito we trust. Andy Mees, sorry to say, it's Minnesota's to lose. The Indians are banking too much on their stud pitching rotation to try to win games 1-0, 2-1. You can't play or pitch that way. Well, that's for sure. Then we have John Swit, I believe is the last name. It depends on which team shows up for the rest of the season, the AAA team or the MLB Tribe. If the Tribe doesn't hit and score runs, the best pitching in the world is not going to save it. They gave up 340-plus RBIs from last year's exodus of players, and it shows game after game. Gary Vimmer, right now at Minnesota, is the better team. The Dolans started to break the team up 1 year early, and they slammed the door. The only reason the ticket sales is because of the All-Star game. Ticket sales will tank next year, and the fire sale will begin. One thing that I didn't like at the time, and I don't like it now, is the Michael Brantley situation. And he might be the best hitter on, as good as Houston has been, he might be the best hitter on their team right now.
Yeah, it's painful. Even for Brantley, he's off to a tremendous start. You know what kind of a player he is, what kind of a hitter he is, the consummate pro. He's exactly what you want in your lineup. So consistent. And the numbers, this is what's problematic and why I don't blame Indians fans for having, some consternation. It's not like he signed a 4-year, $80 million deal.
No.
Okay? 2 years, I believe it was 32 guaranteed. He might have a couple million more in incentives. But that is a number that, you look at and you go, wait a minute, couldn't the Indians have afforded that? Now, knowing what they were doing in the offseason,
nothing.
They weren't going to bring him back.
No, but he's the one you would bring back.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's problematic to see him not only leave, but go to a team that you presumably need to get through to get to the World Series, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The team that just swept you last year in the Division Series.
When